Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all who have joined for this talk. And first of all, I welcome Dr. Malayaranjan Sahu. And Dr. Malayaranjan Sahu is going to deliver the lecture on powering a sustainable future. Does economic structure influence the ecological footprint? And I am actually very happy because Malaya is a direct student of mine. I had taught him in Utkal University, and now Dr. Malayaranjan Sahu is a postdoctoral researcher at the Institute of Energy Policy and Research, University Tenaga Nasional, Malaysia. He earned his PhD in 2023, specializing in energy and environmental economics from the prestigious National Institute of Technology, Rourkela. Prior to this, he completed his MPhil program at the University of Hyderabad from 2016 to 2018, and he obtained his MA in economics from the Analytical and Applied Economics Department of Utkal University. Uh, and throughout his academic journey, Dr. Sahu has authored about 20 research papers in reputed international journals. His research uh, is published in different international journals like Renewable Energy, Environment, Development and Sustainability, and Telemetric and Informatics. And it reflects his expertise in critical areas such as renewable energy, environmental sustainability, and open macroeconomics. In fact, I was also going through the Google Scholar citation, and Dr. Sahu has already got 645 citations, H index 13. So at a very young age, and he has already achieved actually many things because he has published actually quite a few articles in very good journals. So as a teacher of Malay,
Yes.
I really feel happy to see his progress. And again, just to give some introduction about the DST Center for Policy Research to Malay. Uh, you must be aware that we have got this funding from Department of Science and Technology, and we focus on the energy transition in eastern part of India, and our focus is on Odisha, West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh. So we are basically looking into the aspects like how the eastern India can get into the just energy transition, because we have a lot of minerals, particularly coal, and that's a lot of energy is being produced from thermal energy. So, what are the challenges available for this Eastern Indian
Yes.
states? That will be our focus. But now, actually, we are also doing this lecture series to learn from each other and also to also have network with many researchers who are working in this field. So, thank you, Dr. Malay, for kindly agreeing to share your knowledge with us. And with this, I now invite you to start your lecture. So, you can take about maybe 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, and then we can have some question answer at the end.
Okay,
Over
sir.
to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Uh, uh, I'm deeply honored to be included in this talk series. Thank you, sir, for the inviting me to this talk. So I am a newcomer, and unlike the experienced resource person before me, so please accept my apologies for any mistake I might make. So uh, now I'm sharing my slide.
Yes.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead. Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So today I'm going to present one of my research paper that is the powering a sustainable future. Does economic structure influence the ecological footprint? So before going to my research paper, I have to discuss the few terminology. So, what is ecological footprint and others terminology used in this paper. So, let's start our talk with this picture. So, everyone knows about this picture, this story about the story of Bali and a Vaman from Hindu mythology offer an interesting connection to the concept of ecological footprint, highlighting the importance of a balance and a sustainable living. So, in this story, King Bali was a generous and a virtuous ruler. However, his immense power and success led to arrogance. To humble him, Lord Vishnu took the form of a Brahman, a dove Brahmin, and asked Bali to for three pieces of land. Despite warning from his guru Sukaracharya, so Bali agreed. Then grew to a enormous size, covering the entire earth in one step and the heaven in the second step, and had no place to put his third steps. So Bali offered his own head for Baman's third steps. So signifying his surrender and humility, uh, this story can be connected to the ecological footprints. So how? So which measures the impact of human activities on the environment. Like King Boli, human often consume resources and expand their footprint without considering the consequences. The earth, represented by Boli, um, provides a generous sleep but has limitation. When our consumption exceeds Earth capacity to regenerate resources, we face environmental challenges such as different environmental challenges like deforestation, pollution, and climate change. The story of Bali and Bamon teaches us the importance of recognizing our ecological footprint and finding a sustainable balance between our need and the earth capacity to support us. Let us to be humble in our consumption. So respect nature's limit and work towards a harmonious coexistence with our planet, ensuring a healthy and a balanced environment for the future generation. Uh, for over 4 decades, human demand on the nature has surpassed the Earth replenishment capabilities. Currently, we require the regenerative capacity of 1.7 Earth to sustain our consumption of natural resources and ecological service. This imbalance signifies the over exploitation and straining ecosystem, depleting biodiversity and accelerating climate change. So this now our footprint is not cannot be captured in one earth. We need our food size has increased from 1 earth to 1.7 earth. We are now requiring 1.7 earth to sustain our lifestyle. So if we consume in this way, then will indeed the consequence of overshooting. So overshooting the Earth natural limits are becoming increasingly evident. When we exploit resources faster than they can generate or absorb, we face severe repercussions such as habitat destruction, species extinction, and rising carbon footprint. Deforestation, overfishing, excessive carbon emission are also is an cause of environmental issue. So, so what is overshoot day? Actually, Overshoot Day, formerly known as the Earth Overshoot Day. So every year, Global Footprint Network, that is an international organization, measure Earth Overshoot Day. So this year Overshoot Day is August 2, is for the 2023. August 2 is the Earth Overshoot Day. So what Earth Overshoot Day is a critical concept that highlight the imbalance between the humanity's ecological footprint and the Earth's capacity to regenerate resources. It represents the date in which, in a given year, when humanity's demand for ecological services we are getting from the Earth exceeds what Earth can generate within that year. So it makes an point at which we begin to consume resources in ecological draft. Like if you have in your account you have 5,000 in your account, but you go for a withdraw 7,000, then you have to overdraft it. So in this way, it is also if you will consume our if you will more consume than the Earth's limits, then we call it is ecological overdraft. So year Global Footprint Network, that is a global international organization, calculates Earth Overshoot Day by considering factors such as carbon emission, overfishing, deforestation. This is the biological productive area that Earth are giving us. So when Overshoot Day arrives earlier, it indicates that we are depleting Earth's resources faster than they can renew. So rising awareness about the Earth Overshoot Day is crucial as it emphasizes urgency of adopting sustainable practices by reducing our ecological footprint through action like conserving energy, reducing waste, promoting renewable resources. We can work towards moving overshoot day later in the year, allowing the Earth more time to regenerate vital resources and remain a sustainable balance between human activities and the environment. We should know the capacity of our Earth, how much we have resources, and how much we should be consumed. So in this way, how to calculate overshoot day? Let's take an example of Swiss overshoot day. So ecological footprint for the Switzerland is the 4.35 per person. That is a global hectares. It is a measure to measure for the ecological footprint. And a global biocapacity, that is a productive area that Earth is providing us, that is a 1.0 global hectare, 1.6 global hectare. So therefore it took if we will consume like if we follow the same pattern of Switzerland lifestyle consumption pattern, then we need 2.75 Earths to support humanity's demand. So we can determine Swiss overshoot day using the equation like 365 days into 1.6 by 4.35. That is the 133rd day in the year. That is a 133rd day of 2023 is May 13th. Okay, so May 13th is the mark for the overshoot day. So after that day, we are using more resources. That is the ecological overdraft. This is the balance we have, but we are using from the May 13th to December 31st. We are we are exploiting our natural resources. So what is the ecological footprints? Generally, ecological footprint that it includes the biological productive area. That is a biocapacity we call like crops, grazing land, built-up areas. These are the ecological footprints the Earth were getting. So, what the definition is that it is a method of measuring humans' dependence on natural resources by calculating how much of the environment is needed to sustain a particular lifestyle. Or in easy ways, we can say that it is the measure of demand versus supply of nature. If you demand more than the supply of nature, then we call it fall it in a ecological deficit. And if we are demanding less than the supply of nature, then we can say that we are in a ecological reserve country. And the father of this ecological footprint is Williams was written by William Rees in 1992, and with his student, PhD student on that is Mathis Wackernagle. Uh, he's the hero of ecological footprint. The founder of that's the right hand side of this picture is Mathis Wackernagle, and is the supervisor William Iris. This figure shows the this map shows the ecological footprint that is of different countries. Like the uh, deep red is showing, it means this country are exploiting more natural resources than they have. But those are country in like Australia, Congo, these are country are in a ecological reserve country. They are using the resources less than they have. So this is the scenario in of our global scenario of ecological footprint. If we compare to the 1961 and the 20, 2020 biocapacity used, during 1961, we are just using 73% of biocapacity that we have. But now we are using 160 percentage, so more than the one earth we are using for the consumption style for our day to day living. And this figure shows that ecological footprint of India and world. It shows that continuously rising from 1961 to, you can say that though there is a little dip in this 2020 period, but there is a continuously rising the ecological footprint, but biocapacity is uh, more constantly in every year. So we have to be careful about our consumption, our life standard, to maintain our to sustainable our environment. So this is the all about the basic things. What is ecological footprint and how it is calculated? So this is the. So coming to my research, that is powering a sustainable future, and does economic structure influence the ecological footprint? You can say that for India, 2021 was remarkable. Why it is remarkable? It was marked the 75th Independence Day celebration, and on the eve of independence, the agricultural sector dominate the Indian economy with a massive chunk of our population relying on it. After that, India allowed followed a idiosyncratic development path. Means that is that dominance the contribution of every sector, that is the agriculture, the industry and service sector, are shifting towards now the service sector are more contributing towards GDP than the agriculture sector. But earlier, during the independence time, agriculture was contributing most towards GDP. So in this study, I examined how this, although this shifting that the agriculture to service sector is environment friendly, or is it reducing ecological footprint, or it is sustainable for the environment. So in today's world, the main issue is economy and environment. We can't increase our economy without considering the environment. We have to protect our environment as well as increase our economy. So that in India is also trying to do mission life or lifestyle of for environment is India uh, led global mass movement to nurse the individual and community action to protect and preserve the environment. So one of the major so to consider this, the ecological footprint is the only metric that measure how much nature we have and how much nature we use. So this footprint helps countries to improve sustainability and well-being. So, as an impactful tool for evaluating region sustainable development, and ecological footprint is a commonly used by the academia and government. So, one of the major problems facing the world today is the environmental degradation, and it is unfavorable effect on the air quality, ozone layer, people destruction, biodiversity, and economy, and natural resources also. So Nathaniel in 2021 contended that water, food, energy, and infrastructure pose hazards to ecosystems, thus triggering ecological stress and leading to disadvantageous effect on the environment. Countries need to uh, cut down on energy consumption and carbon emission and other activities to control water, land, air pollution for doing this. So the composition and the structure of economy can have a notable impact because now we are service sector is contributing most towards GDP. If if this is not environmental friendly, then it is very difficult for India to get a sustainable development in environment. So so this should be taken care of. So, Stan and Common in 2001 explained that that low industrialization will contribute to less environmental damage. Uh, India as a Panchamrit clearly emphasized that need to shift energy and cleaner energy sources in future. When it comes to the service sector, that's our consumption pattern and demand determine how hard the sector's bond will be on the environments. So in this paper, we have taken the renewable energy and the technological innovation and natural resources variables to how this affects also on the ecological footprint in case of India. Coming to the contribution of the studies, that's most of the studies have focused on the relation between GDP and the ecological footprint. Because they're taken the aggregate GDP without considering the disaggregated analysis of all each of the sector like agriculture, industry, and services. And in this paper, we have also used technological innovation as an important variable also how this technological innovation are affecting ecological footprint. And we have also adopted the new dynamic auto-regressive distributed lag model simulation instead of the traditional RDL method, thus doing a because it is a more dynamic and flexible analysis. This study utilized time series secondary data spanning from 1990 to 2021. And the ecological footprint is the dependent variable. And this is the sources of the data is the GFN, that is the Global Footprint Network. And the agriculture industry service, this is the structure of the economy. And the technological innovation, that is the development of environment related technology. We can say that how there are two types of there are many development of environmental related technology there. You can say earlier we are using 100-watt bulb, and but now we are using CFL bulb. That is, we can light the whole room within 5 watts. So this is the development of a environment related technology. But if you will say whether the electric vehicle is a environmental development technology, I can say no, because this is not a environmental related technology till now, because India, most of the energy are coming from the thermal energy and non renewable energy sources. Until unless the power that electric vehicle is used from the non-renewable energy sources, we can call it as a environment related technology. So India should be if renewable energy that to power the battery, if renewable sources of energy will be used, then it will be a environmental related technology can be happen, and it can reduce the ecological footprint. For the renewable energy and natural resources, that is we taken data from the IEA, it's International Energy and World Bank. This is the basic model for the study, as as you know that EF is the agricultural ecological footprint and other independent variables. So before coming to any time series analysis, so we have to test test we have to done. So before using dynamic RDL simulation, a unit root test is necessary to determine the stationary and the order of integration of the variables. Non-stationary variables might cause false regression findings. We verified the stationary of each of the variables with the level and path difference, and a stationary or a non-stationary variable at its level term will be have a unit root, but while initial difference it indicate an integrated time series of order one. Somewhere, as per the basic rule, dynamic RDL simulation only can use when the variables are either I0 or I1 or in both orders. So after doing the unit root test, we have did the RDL bound test. So the existence, so why you use RDL bound test? The existence of long run relationship is estimated through F statistics. To show the long run relationship, we have to run the Airedale bound test, and through the F statistics, we can show whether our model will go for the next step, that is a long run relationship or not. If the estimated value of F statistic is higher than the upper bound, and because when I will analyze it in the next slide, that if the F statistic is higher than the upper bound, then we can say that we can reject the null hypothesis of no long run relationship association among the variables. It is also it will be inconclusive when F statistics is in between the lower and the upper bound values. So next step, after doing the test of RDL bound test, we know should we go for the long run or other model. Then we analyze the dynamic RDL dynamic RDL simulation. So how this dynamic RDL simulation is different from the earlier that is a RDL model. In RDL model, we have to take different individual lags order in different of each independent variables. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is quite confusing. So which lag we should take, which lag we should not take. But in case of a dynamic RDL simulation, we that it gives the stochastic simulation technique to stimulate, estimate, and visualize the independent variable while holding other variable constant. So in the next step, we also diagnostic test we have done like whether the model is free from this serial correlation, heteroscedasticity, and whether model is well specified or not, and whether the model is normally distributed or not. So these are the tests has done in diagnostic tests. Coming to the result and discussion, and this is descriptive statistics table 2, and this descriptive statistics shows that the nature of the data, our data, how our data is, whether what is the median, and the basic statistical stage of our data is. In the table 3, we shows the table test shows the unit root test that we have used in this paper two tests, that is PP and ADF. PP is a filiparent test and ADF is the augmented dipolar test. And after this, we know that we can see in level in both PP and ADF, the all variables are non-stationary. But when it is a first difference, when we take the first difference of each variable, it is a stationary is coming. So we can conclude that all variable are integrated of order 1. So we can go for the next step. What is the next step? We have to check whether the which lag we have to take, then for the co-integration. So next step, table 4 is the lag length criteria. There are 5 to 6 lag length criteria there, and we have chosen that AC criteria for this model, as it is the lowest in this value. And for the next step is that ARDL bound test. After knowing that whether our model is co-integrated or not, then we have to test ARDL bound test. ARDL bound test show the long run relationship between the variables. If this ARDL bound test is F statistic is not significant, then we can go for the ARDL long run relationship. For this, knowing the whether we will go for the long run relationship, then we have to test the ARDL bound test, and we can say that F statistic is 7.0604. So in 1% and 5% and 10% level of significance, the F statistic is higher than the upper bound test, upper bound value. That is say I1. I1 is the upper bound, I0 is the lower bound value. So in every significance level, F statistic is higher than the of a bound test. So we can say that there is a long run relationship among the variables. So we proceed to the main analysis of our paper, that is dynamic ARDL simulation approach. Here we can say here the change AZRT minus 1, that is the long run, and AZRT stand for the short run analysis. Okay, so change in AZR means it shows that agriculture has a positive impact on ecological footprint. It means if 1% change in agricultural output, ecological footprint will be increased by 0.094. So in the same way, short run also positive. Uh, Similar to the agricultural sector, industry also has a positive impact on ecological footprints in both that long run and short run. So why the question why there is a agriculture? Because of agriculture as a contribution of chemical fertilizers and pesticide used in agriculture to the emission of carbon. So due to the fertilizers and the pesticide use, so agriculture are contributing um, positive towards ecological footprint. In the same way, industrial sector, as you know that industry process frequently necessitate substantial quantities of natural resources and encompassing energy, water, minerals, raw materials. The extraction and utilization of these resources may result in the degradation of habitats, contamination of water bodies, and escalation of ecological footprints. So, but we can see that service sector in the service sector ecological in the long run it is a negative effect because as you know a service sector is uh, lower intensity in comparison to the other sectors such as manufacturing or agriculture sector, and it is imperative to recognize that it doesn't operate in complete isolation from the environmental consideration. But in long run, we can say that service sector can have a favorable environmental effect in case of India during this period. Uh, Similarly, the technological innovation is also posits ecological negative impact on ecological footprint. But in the short term, it is not significant. Not significant. Similarly, the renewable and the non-renewable sector is also has a negative impact on ecological footprint. You see, we have to transit from the non-renewable sources to renewable sources so that we can protect our environment and to for the sustainable ecological footprint. Can say that. So here the error correction term that is the holds a significance in assessing adjustment speed. This is used for the adjustment that is error correction term. So with a note of the negative and the statistical significant coefficient, this signifies that with the passage of time, roughly 6.1 of any disequilibrium will happen in the short run. It will be corrected in to achieve the long run equilibrium. This is the main in the present way I have employed the dynamic ARDL simulation of it to effectively illustrate the dynamic relation between the stated explanatory variables and the dependent variable. While controlling for the influence of other regressor, our studies specifically aim to evaluate the impact of agriculture, industry, and service technological innovation on ecological footprint in the context of India. It was hypothesized that this factor would result in the fluctuation of ecological footprint by around. And this is the innovation shock diagram. If 10% positive change in the agriculture, that is the left side diagram is showing, if agriculture output will be increased, then what will be the effect on the ecological footprint? It's showing that if 10% positive change will be in AGR, agricultural output, then ecological footprint will increase. And the right hand side, it's showing if 10% negative change in agricultural sector, what will happen to the ecological footprint? And this is showing negative because if so it shows that agriculture has a positive impact on ecological footprint. This is the impulse response plot for the industry and the ecological footprint. The same way, so if our industrial output will be increased 10%, then how ecological footprint will behave? It is also behave same way. And see, there is a direct relationship between the ecological footprint and the and industry output. But if 10% in change, that negative change in industry will be happen, then what will the ecological footprint is showing in the right side of the graph? So it's showing a negative relationship. But however, The service sector is the totally opposite from the agriculture and industrial sector. It's showing if 10% positive change in the service sector in the long run, we can say we can reduce our ecological footprint because service sector is the leader of our economic growth. So nowadays, so if more renewable sources of energy will be utilized in this sector, and then this sector can have reduce ecological footprint in the long run. And this is a change in the renewable energy and ecological footprint, and this is also showing same like pattern like service sector and ecological footprint. Like if renewable energy will be increased, so what will be the consequence of ecological footprints? It will also decline. Because if if you more renewable energy sources will be used in every sphere of in our day-to-day life, then we can say that ecological footprint will be declined. Uh, so coming to the diagnostic test, whether our model is the free from this all those this serial correlation heteroscedasticity. So serial correlation. What is serial correlation? Serial correlation means when the present and the past value of each variable is correlated, then the serial correlation will be come. So this the null hypothesis of this uh, serial correlation that is used for this which model it's the Bruce Godfrey Lagrange multiplier, that is LM test, is used for the serial correlation, and this the null hypothesis of this test is that there is a no correlation, and the p-value of our model is 0.59. So it rejects the it accepts the null hypothesis, so we can say there is a no serial correlation. Similarly, the heteroscedasticity. So here the heteroscedasticity is measure test through Bruce Pagan Godfrey test, and for the heteroscedasticity to measure whether the model is whether the series is homoscedasticity or heteroscedasticity, and the null hypothesis is that it is a homoscedasticity. So p-value is also insignificant, means we have to accept the null hypothesis. That is our model is a homoscedasticity, and the Ramsey test is used for the well-specified model, whether our model is well specified or not. And Jakobura, that is used for the normality test, whether the error terms residual values are normally distributed or not. And the Kusum square, this is a prerequisite for the if you'll go for any RDL and dynamic RDL test, we have to test the Kusum and the Kusum square, because without this we can say that if whether the model is stable or unstable. Because if the blue line is in between these two lines, then we can say that this model is stable. If the blue line will come out from this two line, then we can say that our model is unstable. So we can say our model is a good one for the analysis. So from this result, we can say that our model is good for this analysis, and whatever the result we get, we can get some policy related things, so that we can propose some um, sustainable parameters to reduce the ecological footprint. So coming to the conclusion and policy implication, as we know that agriculture and the industry are contributing more towards ecological footprint. India should adopt the sustainable farming practice with focus on minimizing chemical inputs, promoting crop diversity, safeguarding a natural ecosystem to ensure their suitability for agricultural purposes, and for the reducing industrial footprint, Uh, the industrial production should be include various components, such as we should adopt resource efficiency, waste management, and adoption of clean energy in the production process, so that we can reduce the ecological footprint in India. And the service sector policy in India places an emphasis on the mitigation of ecological impact through the promotion of environmentally sustainable practices. And the natural resource policy of Indian government should be prioritize sustainable management, renewable energy, and conservation to to be a sustainable to a well to a more sustainable environment in Indian economy. So, as per the Mahatma Gandhi, arts provide enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greeds. So we have until unless our footprint is not is green, we can say that we are in we can't dream for a sustainable future. So so as per the consumption, our consumption and use of natural resources determine everything to be a sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you, Malaya, for an interesting presentation. This basically provides the macro view of how our economic activities are having impact on the ecology. So,
Yes.
thank you so much. Now, let us open the floor for some discussion. Uh, yeah. So, if anyone wants to ask any question, may please unmute and go ahead. So, Sanjay, you want to ask something?
Sir, actually, I joined in late. In 3:30, I think I joined. So many of the part I skipped, but a little bit in the later part of what I found, and that table, particularly result table, it's of course Manav presented very well the content, but the table itself is not self explain. It doesn't explain itself. I think there is a little bit I think missing the proper the way people should make the slides with something putting star or something else, and he has given the many things. So I felt a little means even I felt to understand their many things. And one question is for Mola that you almost all the variable that you are getting that it is I1. So there is also better model is available only for long run. Only for long run. So of course you are looking at both long and short run. For example, if you look at that canonical co-integration regression model, then fully modified Wallace model, dynamic Wallace model, then why you directly means you went for dynamic ARDL models? It's completely giving the data is your data characteristic is giving to use only for long term perspectives, but because it is I1 almost all the series based on I1, not on I0. And dynamic I think ARDL it's if both I1 or I0, of course you can use, no doubt here. Then there is also better model that which can give the very consistent as well as efficient results for the long run.
Okay.
So then why you are strict to the dynamic ARDL models, not on CCR model, modified OLS model, or dynamic OLS model? They are giving also very, very dynamic or very consistent result for the long runs. And second point is that you are not giving any internal validity of your results particularly, and that's completely missing in your result, that whether we can believe whether your result is even the changing with respect to the alternative model or something else. So so that's one of the point whether your model or results it would be consistent to alternative models or not. That is,
Okay.
I'm a little bit curious about that. And second point is that also there is arguments that a little bit you have not provided with respect to even the external validity as well. So if you could have given that with that, and and with that, if you could have developed your argument with that perspectives, I think it would have been something dynamic in your conclusion.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all.
Sanjay, actually, yeah. As per the data structure, we go for this yeah, dynamic ADL simulation, and as you know, as you said, why you are not using FMLSO, modified FMLSO. So, as you know, that FMLSO only give only the long run result, but
Yes,
in
yes,
our
yes.
result we are giving both. This model is a new one, and it is the only came out in 2018. Okay.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
this model is also gives in a pictorial form, so that anyone can see how if any one variable will change innovation, if any shock will happen in one variable, so what will be the effect on the dependent variables. But this test cannot be done in case of modified OLS and others that you have mentioned about the test. Okay. And coming to the
I
argument.
think it can be used through also Bayesian model, that if you give 1% of shock or something else in any of the models, so because there is also impulse response function is there, and it consider only I1.
But BCM is a static model. Okay, we can't go for now. It is we are going to for a dynamic things. So we have to use dynamic model, so that it will be more easy and more flexible to analysis.
I didn't
Also,
get that point, one point, that in what sense you are saying here it is dynamic. Have you used that any of the legged value of dependent variable or something else?
yes, yes, I have.
Yeah,
Yes, I have taken. So the lag value, how it will otherwise how it will be dynamic. We have
yes,
taken the lag value, that is as per the information lag information criteria. So we have
yes.
already used the lag value and test the model, so that it gives more long run and a short run with the pictorial form, so that it will gives a audience so how one variable will change, then how it is affecting another
Okay,
variables.
okay, okay.
So this model I think can be best model as from the BSM, FMLSO and DLSO model.
Then second part, that is, I told about that internal validity, that is completely missing. That
Yes.
yeah, that is completely missing. So that I little bit doubt with the result that you are giving or
Yes, yes,
presenting over here.
yes. That you are saying that I am using dynamic model, and internal validity means you have to test other model, so that we can compare the both result, whether the
No,
both.
it's yeah. That result comparison is there, but whether your result is robust, how sensitive your
Yes,
result to alternative modeling. That is basically because it's means now its data is hugely available in the world, and
yes,
anyone is using that database and providing some kind of results. So that is a little bit. It's going beyond the systematic or scientific way of doing any kind of research. So
yes,
that's we have to look into, and that dynamic has been entered into the research right now over the last, I think, 5 to 10 years.
yes.
That has entered into the research, of course. So we need to focus on that, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, but coming to the robustness, actually, if we'll find same type of model, then we can compare or whether this model is robust, or we can check for the as per my knowledge, this is the best model. Yes, if you use ARDL model, we can go for the robustness of any FMLS and DLSO, because these are the static model. But when it will come into the dynamic, we have to robust model with the dynamic model, not dynamic with the starting model, so that it will be gives a misleading result.
No, I think it's not necessary that because if you use the dynamic Wallace model, that is itself, it also shows the dynamic and it will show. For example, you are giving the result for the long run as well as your result giving for the short run. There
Yes.
is also, we can test that there is some model that take into account the short term results, and there is also model that take into account the long terms. So we can apply here 2 to 3 model, that the model which fit for the long term, so that you got that 2 kind of result, the short run and long run. So the model you are using for the long terms, so and compare that result with the dynamic ARDL models. So that can be one of the means scientific way of doing or comparing results.
Okay, but yes, that can be done. But if you use multiple model, then I don't know whether it will be a good for the uh, analysis or not. Okay, I will try for in my future to look which model can be used for this robustness and to check whether this result is a good fit or not. Okay, thank you.
And nowadays, what I found, it has become the very necessary condition that alternative specification, alternative econometric tools being used for the consistent of your results, to check the consistency of your results. Nowadays, it has become the compulsory even to check. So thank you so much. Thank you, Malay. And thank you,
Okay,
sir, for giving me golden opportunity to speak something in front of you and others. Thank you so much.
thank you, Sanjay.
Okay, so thank you, Sanjay, for your lot of questions and comments, and thank you, Malay, for your response. Now there are some questions from Khulana. Malay can read the questions in the chat box. Can you just explain the negative coefficient of renewable energy, lag variable, and positive for the present variable, that is RET, and another thing is your
Yes, yes.
yes.
Uh, Spend the negative coefficient and positive. No, actually, just wait. I think the misread it. In my result, I have mentioned that both in case of renewable energy, both long run and short run result is negative. So if you are using more renewable energy, then there is a negative effect on the ecological footprint. So and Kusum and Kusum square test showing from 2018. Yes, we can. It is a machine generated thing, software things. So if you will put the data from 90 to 21, it will show as per their convenient. I think it's showing from 18 only, but the data is from 1990 to 2021. So, what is the policy? What are the policy recommendations from your studies? As you know, I have also already mentioned that agriculture and industry. So we have to uh, take necessary step for in case of those who are those sector which are contributing more towards physical footprint. So we can if others like in case of agriculture sector, if organic farming and other practices will be done, then we can reduce the ecological footprint. And similarly for the industrialization, if innovation will be happen in case of industrial production, and the energy efficiency technique will be applied in industry, so that we can reduce energy consumption with the same level of output, so we can reduce ecological footprint. Have you checked the rebound effect of
What's
technological
our last
innovation?
question? I think see, first I can unmute and Sir, are you currently working at IIT Kanpur? You are not audible, Varsa? No, you are not audible.
No, this is on mute, but is
Yeah. No, I have not muted you. You can unmute and ask.
Hello.
Yeah, now you are audible. Yes.
Okay. Uh, yes, my question is,
yes,
uh, technological innovation has a negative significant effect on ecological footprint, right?
yes, yes, yes,
So it means if technological innovation will increase, that means ecological footprint will decrease in your case, right?
exactly.
Okay.
In the long
So
run.
my question is, have you checked the rebound effect of technology?
Uh,
Uh,
yes, no, no, I have not checked the rebound effect in my study, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Uh, Actually, it means not every time that the ecological footprint will decrease. So, if rebound effect means if technology will increase, that means it will increase the efficiency of resource use.
yes,
So it will increase the emissions as well as the ecological footprint. So I think you should consider this in your argument that if it had means in your case there is a significant effect, but that is negative. But it should in your argument you may consider it.
okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there any other question from anybody? No. Okay. So if there are no other questions, then let me ask a few questions. So one is that like when you are presenting your results, I was thinking that all the results have come as per the expectation, and but if you try to complicate the model, say for example, within agriculture, if you again try to see, say, area under organic farming, okay, and
Okay.
area under, say,
Mm.
inorganic farming, and see as how, whether there are any different results. And similarly, within industry, if you again try to complicate, say, if you take say NIC
Yes,
classification and
yes,
try to divide the industry
yes,
into different groups, say high tech, medium tech, and low tech, and
yes,
whether again there are differences across different industries, and again within service sector also there will be say energy intensive sectors within service sector, okay? And uh, so whether there are again differences within those sectors. So if since you are already working on this project, maybe in future you can
yes, yes.
look at this. But again, when you are making the argument, you were telling something that you told something about energy sector. I somehow forgot that argument. You're telling that uh, all energy sources are basically non-renewable, and that
Yes.
like could you repeat that actually?
That elective bulb uh, is that agreement or what? It's
Um,
EV or electric vehicle.
but you have not included any variable electric vehicle. Have you
No,
included?
no. Just in the technological innovation, I have about that. If
Hmm.
uh, in tech earlier we are using 100-watt electric bulb, but
Hmm.
to light our house. But now we are using 5-watt or 10-watt. That is CFL bulb. Uh, uh, Now this technological innovation can have an impact on ecological footprint. But if you come to the electric vehicle, if electric vehicle is um, uh, consuming to charge its battery from the non-renewable energy, then it will be it doesn't have any impact to the ecological footprint, because still we are though it is a innovation, technological innovation to related to environmental technology, but still we are using from the thermal energy to charge our battery. So this technological innovation has not impact. to the environment until unless we have used from the renewable sources.
Okay, and you have already included that variable renewable energy as a variable, no? That is
Yes,
share of renewable energy in the total energy.
yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah, so maybe are you planning to?
Thank you, sir. For actually, you have also mentioned one good point that every industry has not. Some are high intensive industry, some are low intensive industry. So this can be studied to the specific industry with by segregating each industry and service sector, agriculture sector. That can be studied in future, and this is a good point. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So anybody else would like to ask anything? Sanjay, you still have some more questions?
Sir, sir, just wanted to discuss one more question, that how justify to use only 32 observation for time series model estimations?
Okay. Actually, this model is also highlighted that this can be used in case of a low time period data. So this is the assumption of this model. Like
How many observation that it can low means how many observation that model, because it's a dynamic sense, it will reduce again 1 to 2 observation. So
yeah,
at the best it is considering only 30 or 31 observation if you consider the data between 1990 to 2021. So it's considering only 30 observation, but it's one of the critical point that many of the scholar, even it was basically listen when I attend the conference at the time, many of the even some of the professors from the US university, and they came. I was attending that IIFT Calcutta conference. They strictly, even one of the student from Jammu Kashmir, and he was using at the time only 30 to 35 observation hardly. So one of the professor raised the concern about that using the very minimum number of or critical number of observation for estimation. So it may lead to the misleading result also sometimes they are claiming. So that's why I wanna raise this concern and wanted to discuss how justify to use this model with
yes.
for less number of observation particularly.
Yes, you are right. Because if you are this model is used, this is the assumption of this model also. This model can be used if more than 30, at least 30 data set is there. Then this model can be used.
Okay.
So I followed this methodology and did the analysis.
Okay.
Yes, that can be misleading, but as per this model assumption, we go for the analysis. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we are friends, but when it comes to any resource topic, we are argue like an enemy. That's good.
Not like that. I
That's good actually. I love to argue everything. So if comes to any resource topic or any um, issue related to the our study. Thank you.
Yeah,
and
this is a bit of Sidesians.
I am so I am so sorry that I means I've forgotten completely that you have, and when I attend that something Facebook, then immediately I found Amarendra sir has posted in Facebook that we are online. So immediately I joined because I was writing. I have to submit within that 1 week. I have to submit my thesis. So I was working on that. Then immediately I joined little bit Facebook and I came to know that there is one online conference or something that your presentation is there. I join immediately. So I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Okay.
Most welcome.
So if there are no other questions, then we may conclude with a no proposal of vote of thanks. No, I'm really happy to see Malaya presenting very nicely, and also to see Sanjay for discussing. I think we are classmates, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Oh,
sir.
So you were, I think, the last class I taught at Colloquy,
Yes.
and I came here. So I know very good actually to see that.
Together, sir. Together we have written the paper also, sir.
Oh,
That,
you both have written paper
yes,
together.
sir.
Yes.
That published in a good journal, that Environmental Science and Pollution Research. That.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's actually really great to know. So maybe Sanjay will also give a lecture someday, and
Yes.
let him finish his thesis first, and let him become doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Malay.
Okay.
I really look forward to more, good research coming up from you, and uh, yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you.
all.